Libraries have always been part of our communities. Many of us will have grown up remembering libraries as places where you had to be very quiet, where you went in almost in fear of the librarian. Libraries have changed, have embraced technology. Staff are really about working with their local communities and being absolutely the hub of it. And we wanted to move to a model where communities are much more involved in how they can support the running of the library service.
My baths are the only hope. So he rushed indoors and grabbed the soap.
The Friends group is a group of people, like-minded people, getting together and promoting the library service. It's not just about taking books anymore, it's about moving forward with the times and being that community place.
It's somewhere for people to meet, it's somewhere for people to have somebody to talk to, because it's a place where different groups can meet and either set a group up to do something. We have crafts, there's internet taster sessions, there's all kinds of things that they can do from the library, so it's far more than a place just to borrow books.
I've always been passionate about working with children. Part of my job is to go to the nurseries and schools and to try and promote making reading fun mostly. It's a service that's freely available to everyone. Everything is free. And I always start my sessions with that. I say, how much do you think it costs to join the library? And the hands go up and they'll say £2, £5. But, there's very rare a child will say it costs nothing. So that's always quite interesting. You say, no, it costs nothing at all to join the library. No charge. And any activity we do is free.
Cumbria County Council are moving forward, they're moving with the times, they're trying to diversify into other areas. We're not standing still and waiting behind a counter for people to come in, we're actually going out there and getting our target audience, we're getting customers to come into the library. We're looking at every possible way to fetch the library to the community.
There you go. It's a brilliant service. We know everybody by name, so it's more like having a friend than just a customer. Rather than it just be a library, it is more like a community centre as well. I think the wider community don't realise just exactly what there is in the library. It isn't just about coming in and borrowing books, it's far, far more.
I think the library service will always be successful. There'll always be a call for libraries.
You're never too young to read, you're never too young to share a book. It covers every age range and every walk of life.
I'm really passionate about the library service for Cumbria, and I wanted to work effectively and efficiently for local communities. We've moved away from traditional counters to self-service. That's freed staff up to be able to work much more closely with individuals. We've started to work with communities around a whole range of different ways in which we can provide a library service to a community beyond the traditional staffed library route, and I'm hoping that we can share that with people over the coming months and years.
This is a self-service machine and people just come along with a library card and take out whatever they fancy. When they've read them, bring them back, check them in and pop them back on the shelves. There's not a big need for an input from staff from the co-op. It's very much self-service. This has been very popular here in Lazenby. Local residents can now access library services without having to travel into Penrith.
It's very convenient. I use it and it works well for me.
In Dent, we've worked with the parish council and with other people to renovate the old Victorian reading room and bring it back into use as precisely what it was built for. And it's become the real hub of a community. You have people with disabilities who couldn't access the mobile library, kids coming in from school. It's a classic example of how the council can work better with communities and produce a service that's innovative, that's imaginative, and that actually is really flexible and suits the needs of a local population.
The mobile library was being used less and less. There were about 8 people in the whole Dale using it. In discussion with people from the library, they came to look at this room. They said it was absolutely ideal, and it went from there.
This has been a fantastic community effort. It's a real sort of community hub. Picked up by Thomas Cromwell.
It is very casual. We don't have strict rules. We're not very quiet. We're usually laughing and chatting.
The allotment shed or whatever.
When it was first muted, they said they were going to have it so people would come in and there would be nobody here. But because we have a chat and a coffee and things, the volunteers have just stayed on and stayed on and stayed on now.
I think it's important. There are some houses you go into where there are no books and there's no tradition of reading books. And yet if there's a library in the community and people there who in a smiley way are there to issue the books or help issue the books, it's a good thing.
They come, they talk, they drink their teas and coffees and change their books. The room is being used a lot more now for small committee meetings. It's now very warm and very comfortable. The vicar ran his recent confirmation classes here. The football club use it, the cricket club use it for their meetings. It's a great success.